What is Power Query? So Power Query is basically a tool. It's an ETL tool, which is extract, transform, and load. Now, once you connect to the data, you know that you have to transform the same. You have to clean up the same. So that's where Power Query comes in and help us. Now, you can actually access the same by connecting to a data, or if you don't want to do that, you can simply access that window by clicking on this transform data. If you're using an older version of Power BI desktop application, you will be getting edit data. Both are same. Either transform data or edit data. And the moment you click on this, it will take you to another window. If you see, this is the new window, which is not Power BI, but you can see at the top, which is Power Query Editor. Okay. It is already showing me the data. I don't want to connect with it right now, so let me simply go over here and delete the group. Let me first delete the query, and then only I'll be able to do the same. So wanted to show you something here. There I go. I'll simply delete it. I just wanted to give you an intro of this entire window. We'll be talking about that in detail. We'll be using this a lot, by the way. But first of all, so this is how it looks like. If I slightly minimize the same, resize the same, you will find there are two windows. At the back, you have Power BI desktop application, and this is Power Query Editor. We are into Power Query Editor right now. Let me maximize it. Now, this is something the backend of, not backend, you can't call it a backend, I'm sorry. This is basically an area where you clean up the data after you connect to the data. So the second step that you do in the entire flow of Power BI, that's where this window comes in. Let me tell you, very important aspect of Power BI, because once you connect to the data, it may not be clean enough. You may need to clean it up. Okay. And you don't have the authority to access the source from which you are getting the data also. So in that case, you can't go there and clean it up over there. You have to come over here and start doing the same, and that you can do it into Power Query. I've mentioned it earlier also that a lot of BI technologies don't have their own ETL tool, and we are fortunate enough that in Power BI, it's an inbuilt tool available. We need not to use any third-party tool for the same, and this is very, very powerful tool, by the way. Okay. If you're an Excel user, if you've been an Excel user, you know that cleaning in Excel is quite a difficult task to do. It takes a lot of time, and you have to put in a lot of functions for the same also. Here, everything is available on a click. You will get to know once we'll just start doing all those cleaning processes over here, right? Another very important part over here into this window is basically detecting the data types. Okay. Now that is the very initial step that we have to do every time you connect to the data, because suppose you have a data in which you have a date column, and by any chance, if you have detected the data type wrong, maybe as a text for a date, later on you won't be able to perform the calculation like year on year comparison or monthly growth. You won't be able to do it because it is not recognizing date as a date. So in this window, is this very window, we actually change the data types. Very much important. Second very important thing about this also, apart from cleaning, is basically whatever you are going to do into this window will get recorded as a part of your actions in the name of applied steps. Everything that we are going to do, it will record it, so that later on, if the data changes, if the data updates, you need not to do it again. You just have to refresh it and you are done, because every step that you have done, every action that you have done, it's been already recorded and will get applied on the entire new data. And that's it. We are done. We'll be getting the updated data as a part of our model and the visualization. So these are a couple of things that we have into this window apart from cleaning up the data, and we'll be talking about everything that you see over here in detail. So do not worry about it in the coming up modules. And we have this transform tab also. We have add column tab also. Transform means transforming the existing columns basically, right? And add column means transform it and then add the new column of the output instead of replacing the existing column. That's what, but most of the things that you will see into these two, under these two, will remain similar. Okay, so we'll talk about this window in detail once we'll start actually performing the things later on. It's just a quick intro, so you should know the difference between Power Query and the Power BI window. Okay, so once you connect to the data, you need to fall that data into over here into Power Query. You have to clean it up and then you have to load it into the desktop, and then you can create the model and the visualization. That is the actual flow, right? Thank you.